What it do, homies? We are some more casual geographic. This time we are checking out why you can't have a baby elephant for Christmas. Drat. Now I got to think of a different Christmas gift to ask for my parents. Let's go ahead, shut up and turn it up.
Just wanted to come on here and talk to y'all because I know there's a lot of accusations, a lot of misconceptions regarding where I've been, why I haven't posted in a while, my coming back, and I'm not really good at making these kind of videos, but I think it's time I address the elephant in the room.
Okay.
Ever since I was a baby, elephants were the animals that were my favorite, and this summer I became the favorite animal to an elephant's baby, and I learned that baby elephants are the most dangerous, reckless, logically bankrupt, whatever this is, threats to human welfare, and the cutest thing I've ever run away from. This is the face of a war criminal. So in case you were considering adopting this cankled crash out into your life, I traveled halfway around the world to beef with a baby elephant, so you don't have to. This is baby June. She's a 9-month-old wrecking ball on 4 legs with no regard for human rights. You see, June be wanting to play, and you got to tell her no, but she don't listen. And that's
one of the things that I bet that he's happy with is that, because I know he sometimes has to source and credit videos, especially geographic videos from other creators, but this is probably his own footage, right? With his team, their cameras, his camera. I bet you that takes a huge weight. Now, you might still use some in here, but I know that had to been a huge weight off your shoulders.
With no regard for human rights. You see, June be wanting to play, and you got to tell her no, but she don't listen. And that's the problem. Baby elephants are too playful for the... Well, actually, it is for their good. You'll notice that a lot of the smartest animals are also the most playful, and playing actually consolidates the skills they'll need later in life. It's actually been proven that the elephants that play the most as kids end up more well-adjusted and adaptable as adults. It's why you'll see these videos of elephants chasing around birds, chasing around dogs, and just wrestling each other. Problem: it's one thing for an elephant to roughhouse another elephant. Getting hawked down by a 900-pound toddler that doesn't know their own strength is a different heart attack. And do not tell me June didn't know what she was doing, because she kept trying to act cute in my face, only to bum rush me from behind. Oh, and they're a car-sized Saint Bernard. You run, they see that as a license to chase.
Here you go again, June, stop.
Speaking of which, the other reason baby elephants are bad for your health. When baby elephants get excited, they make a lot of sounds. They're actually pretty noisy animals in general. Problem is, elephants are also some of the most overprotective mothers on earth, and hearing their baby make any noise sends them running. They literally warn you not to rile up June, because she might think she's playing, whole time she just accidentally called a hit out on you. Keep in mind, elephants are pregnant for 2 months short of 2 years. That's a nearly 2-year internal investment, and you're grass if she thinks you're threatening it. To be fair, if you heard your child yell from across the house just to find a random man posted up next to your spawn, no amount of backpedaling will keep him in present tense. Doesn't change the fact that June raised my health insurance with a different kind of charge. Yeah, baby elephants can be remarkably bad for your health.
That was
to
nice.
be fair, we're kind of a disaster for theirs. We took the biggest animal on land and made their land the smallest it's ever been, and believe me, as hard as you think uprooting a family of several thousand-pound plus-size lawnmowers is, it is harder. In fact, I challenge you, play this game. 10 minutes, you'll wonder how the elephants made it work, because this game gives you a small taste of what the elephants had to go through. Alright, hold on, let me do the... Okay. Beast Lord: The New Land is an animal-themed strategy mobile game. Not only does it flex vivid level designs and graphics, not only do you get more than 500 different animals to add, it shows why elephants probably hate us, because this game gives you the same problem we gave them. Your previous home is now completely unlivable, so you, Beast Lord, have to find a new place to lead your pack. You even get a spirit guide in the form of a baby elephant, and I can't believe it took me actually playing to know that. Like, do y'all not know me? I should have led with that. And just like with wild elephants, you choose how you want to proceed, and you can play the role of collector, invader, or developer. Each has their own buffs and nerfs. Like, if you're just starting out, you're better off as a collector, since that means more resources early on. But when time comes to attack, your army will be slower, and you're probably getting steamrolled. And like,
one thing that I like about Casual Geographic is that, his sponsors make sense. Now, I know there's other creators, and I've never had a sponsor. I get them in my email, but some of it just doesn't line up with the type of stuff that I'm interested in. I even got one from, oh, never mind, I probably shouldn't say that, but it lines up, right? Nature. So, nature games. He probably got a whole bunch of stuff lined up in his email. Transitions are good, right? It's relatable, and it isn't something that's super safe, like Nord. It ain't nothing wrong with that and everything. Sometimes you gotta do that, get your bag and everything. But it's much more enjoyable, right, for your viewers to sit through it if it's related. A lot of people like watching this because they're interested in nature, so naturally they might also be interested in a game that's surrounded by nature. So I do like that. I do like that when creators use or get sponsors that's related to the content that they actually do.
like some choose crime, and we'll get to that, you can opt for invader, living off pillaging, and you even heal faster in battle, so it's like plot armor. Except when you go grocery shopping, because resource gathering, that's where you get nerfed. And the same way elephants influence the world as a keystone species, you can too by choosing developer, influencing the very landscape of the game. But just like a matriarch leading the herd, every decision you make determines whether you prosper or perish. But no pressure, have fun with it. And to make sure you do, Beastlore's got an exclusive offer, and if you use the code BL777, you'll score free startups and resources you're gonna be glad you had. I'm sure they wish they did, so to start with over 10 million already have, download Beastlore the new land using the link in the description and start paying reparations to these elephants. You'd think June was the manifestation of unbridled generational rage. Almost the opposite, because the other dangerous thing about being around a baby elephant, well, you know how humans are the smartest things alive, allegedly, but our babies have the self-preservation of a kumquat because the learning curve is so high? There's so much elephants have to learn about elephanting that they start off kinda, I want to say unaware, which would explain why June didn't get that my pelvis physically couldn't handle a lapdog in the weight class of a cow. So yeah, you can actually get loved to death by an elephant that doesn't know any better. We're talking about a baby animal that sometimes steps on its own trunk. It can take 1 full year to figure out how to use it. Or you know, 9 months in motivation. Yet June ate my poncho. Like right off my chest. Now wearing green around animals that eat grass for a living, that was a decision. But that trunk's another reason a prepubescent pachyderm can be really bad for your house, because understand, nothing's out of reach. Also, there's power in that trunk. Her name June, but she easily could have had me feeling the Mayweather in September if she swung. And if you think she couldn't move you like a gust of wind, you're lying. And I know I kind of implied they're dumb, but like, only in the ways that are inconvenient. They know to mess with tools for a response. They don't forget who gave them the best one. So June targeting me, that wasn't an accident. So yeah, baby elephants are much more of a life hazard than you ever could have imagined. Question is, why did I do that to myself? Well, if this video gets, I'm gonna say 150k likes, I'll go to an elephant sanctuary somewhere and record it. 150k likes, 150k likes, 150. 500 people a year, and it's mostly Asian elephants.
Not the Undertaker theme song. Uh-oh. Something is upon us.
They know the routine by now.
Yeah, I'm a man of my word, so I knew I was gonna have to see some elephants. What I didn't know was just how hard it'd be to find the right place, and to explain why, we gotta go back. The relationship between Asian elephants and people is wildly toxic, and it starts with people destroying their habitats and taking over their ancestral avenues. But you remember what I said about that learning curve? Yeah, they wasn't going for that. As arguably the smartest thing alive that's not us, the elephants just adapted, and then you had families of elephants raiding crop fields at night or even breaking into houses to steal rice. And that's all it takes. Cause on one side, you got farmers trying to defend their livelihood from a 4-ton marauding raccoon, and on the other side, elephants are just trying to live a life that people have made that much harder. It's a vicious cycle, with elephants often getting injured or even killed by farmers protecting their stock, while hundreds of people get flatlined by those same elephants each year. And you already know, if an elephant murks a person, it's likely getting put on a shirt in retaliation. But it's also proven that kind of activity causes genuine PTSD in the survivors, making them that much more trigger happy. An unpopular opinion, I never liked how y'all made fun of this woman. Like, yeah, she could have done the elephant dirty and gotten got. That elephant also could have been a hurricane on 4 legs that was finna life retire the first person she ran into, and Maya Murmu got cheated out the game of life. Now add elephants getting exploited for things like logging companies, and you realize that somewhere an elephant with internet made this and wanted problems. Logging was especially nasty since the Ellies would be separated from their families, abused, and usually disabled by the end, since a lot of times they'd get injured but would be forced to work through it. Logging was
This is very interesting. I mean, yes, of course, you know, with enough training, you can pretty much, you know, train animals to take care of a lot of manual labor tasks. But first, this image just seems very new to me. Like, this whole process is new to me. Like, using elephants for labor, that never occurred to me. Although I feel like I knew that. Like, I play a lot of Civilization. I should know, but I don't know. This just seems like news to me.
And usually disabled by the end, since a lot of times they'd get injured but would be forced to work through it. Logging was made illegal in Thailand, but now there was a problem. Suddenly a bunch of elephants were out of work, and unemployment don't really work when you put away shacks weight and food a day. Now the only reason I brought all of that up is because it directly led to the problem I had. Stay with me now. So with so many elephants with nowhere to go, a bunch of sanctuaries started opening their doors, and it seemed like the perfect compromise. The Ellies are taken care of and get to retire, and people get to see these absolute units up close. Except a lot of times, it's the worst kind of trap. A lot of these sanctuaries are just the same problem with different gift wraps. Stay with me. You know how it became common knowledge that elephant riding is a great time for anyone not an elephant? It's cruel, it's hell on their back, and the way they train them to do it, We'll get to that. But basically, elephant riding became a massive red flag for a reason we'll also get into, and most sanctuaries trashed it. But there's also many that offer elephant washing, and that might not seem as bad. So again, I'ma really need y'all to stay with me. Wild elephants aren't strangers to water, but they don't spend all day in there, and they kind of just go as they choose. Problem is, when you sell tourists the promise of washing an elephant and they pay for it, an elephant that doesn't feel like it is bad for business. So these trunk merchants end up not having a choice, and sometimes they'll even hide bull hooks in the water to goad the elephants where they want them. By the way, that's a bull hook, and they've actually been banned in zoos. They were so cruel. And that's a problem, because if you don't know any better, you might think you're having a wholesome moment. Whole time they're suffering and you're funding it. You know, I'll go even further. Those places where you can get a painting from an elephant, same thing. The elephant's just doing the same thing that it was slavishly taught to do since birth, often also at the threat of a bull hook. And it's not just elephants. You might remember that era of people taking pictures with tigers and putting them on Tinder. Hopefully that's the closest they ever got to pull. Often the tigers are declawed, defanged, and higher than Shaggy, they're drugged beyond belief. Basically, if you have a whole wild...
Hello? Women? Is that attractive? Right? Seeing a guy with a tiger, that's a very interesting picture to put on a dating app. You usually look at it and say, wow, he's got a tiger. How do you do that?
Wild animal, one with a known human body count, just sitting there like a trained dog, yeah, you know something ain't right. And these traps are literally everywhere, and they're really easy to fall for. I remember how much I wanted to see one of those otter cafes in Japan, until I found out how utterly egregious that would be. So now you see my problem. If I don't go to a sanctuary, then I'm the guy that lied to millions of people. If I do go but promote the wrong one, at that point I might as well just nuke my channel. But then I thought, I shouldn't worry about going to a good elephant sanctuary. I should go to the elephant sanctuary. And on that note, introducing... This is Lek Chyler. Her name means tiny, she's about 4'10", and she's the biggest fucking G you'll ever meet. She's an animal lover with an elephant-sized soft spot in her heart. It's low-key medically alarming, but she seems fine. And when she was young, she witnessed the horror of the elephant logging and riding business. I know I said we get back to the training stuff, so... yeah, cause out of all the things I've talked about, this might unironically be the most disturbing. You ever wonder how a highly intelligent animal known to get people PTSD takes so much grief from something 40 times lighter? Unfortunately, it's called the crush, and it involves isolating a baby elephant, tying it to a box, and beating it. For 24 hours, bull hooks, nails, chains, all of it. Why? Well, you remember how I said the mothers are overprotective? Well, elephants are also the biggest mama's boys in nature, and this brutal brainwashing means their love for their mother now gets overshadowed by their new fear of man. And if it doesn't work in the first 24, then they just go back for another 24 hours. And then another, and then another, until eventually the baby's too traumatized to even look at its mother. It's called the crush, because they literally crush their spirit. You look them in the eyes, there's nothing left. I'm not showing videos because 1, YouTube seems to hate talking about animal abuse more than they hate the abuse itself, and 2, I don't know if you've ever heard an elephant scream for its mother, but mama, sorry for my language, that will fuck you up. That's the part of riding an elephant you don't see, and I'ma just say, I rode an elephant as a kid. That memory will forever be tainted. Yeah, Lex saw that and that was her villain origin story, or at least part of it, because she obviously tried to spread the word, but not only was elephant trekking a huge business in Thailand, it was a business her own family was in. So that villain story just went Joker. But didn't I tell you Tiny is a G? She wasn't going for it, and she kept applying pressure, and while she did make noise, she'd be doubly disowned by the government and her own family. Well, not all of them, because the elephants would be her family, and in 1995, Lek Chyler would found the Elephant Nature Park near Chiang Mai, Thailand, which has since rescued over 200 elephants, where not a single bull hook's used and a trunk Tyler has no reason to fear people, which gave me every reason to fear June. That girl legitimately terrorized me, and the worst part is I'll let her do it again, no questions asked. You know they put elephants first when you got baby June out here wilding. So yeah, after hearing about it, reading about it, and even watching a movie about it, I knew exactly where I was going. And after 20 hours, a couple layovers, and a drive up a mountain, my nerves did not appreciate.
Oh Lord, he coming.
Nice. First thing they did when we got there was hand me a bucket of watermelon, which I thought was a sick joke until I realized it wasn't for me. Now, if you've been paying attention, you might have a question. Casual, what's the difference between feeding an elephant and washing or riding one? I'm so glad you asked. The whole point is these problem sanctuaries have elephants doing things they wouldn't be doing in the wild. Yeah, elephants spend 20 hours a day eating. You'd have to really commit to overfeed one. It's also good because the mahouts raising them can motivate them with food. No hooks required. And that's what makes EMP so great, because even though it's Thailand, everything runs on EST. Elephant standard time. Like, you pay to be around elephants, but they decide what you do and how long you do it. For example, where they dropped us off and where we went to go meet the rest of the herd was about a 20-30 minute walk in theory. Yeah, it took 2 hours because EST means if an elephant pulls over and says it's snack time, then it's snack time. No discussion. And if you get caught in the rain because an elephant decides to do skincare, then that's what it is. If you mad, meditate on it. Oh, speaking of the others, it wasn't just June. I also met this young lady, Gampang. And when I say young, I'm talking 51 trips around the sun. And here you got Nungpup. She's 44 with plenty of room for more. Also, you don't just play with pachyderms all day. You actually go through a day in the life of a volunteer here. Like learning how to make an elephant's favorite snack. Rice balls with bananas, tamarinds, and maize. And you can't tell, but I was strongly considering taking one for myself. Oh, the smell. I just know it was bussin'. Also got to meet the resident angsty teenage male, and yeah, everything I have joked about June goes doubly dead serious for Buddy. The males get solitary confinement, and before you feel bad, it's for a very good reason. Anyway, you get to see elephants in their natural and even learn stuff along the way. Elephants are walking instruments. You wouldn't believe the kind of sounds that come out of them. I also never realized how much I needed elephant ASMR. The other thing is, elephants make a lot of noise. Except when they don't want to. When elephants go incognito, they don't make a sound, and since they're technically always tiptoeing, you really might not hear them coming.
Oh, that's
if you're trying to set a
interesting
record
fact.
for weight loss, there'd be times I'd turn away for half a second and 6,000 pounds of mass would just be missing. It was actually kind of freaky. Another thing, elephants can smell numbers. They have the best noses on earth, and experiments show they can actually smell what sealed bucket has the most sunflower seeds without looking. But it also means when they give you a sack of bananas to feed them, they know exactly how much you got on you. You will not be convincing them otherwise. I really tried to pull a fast one. Shorty said, yeah, you not doing that. Run it. Also, wait, where's the rest of you? Oh, yep, there they are. Elephants are way better climbers than I thought. Like, I don't know how they got up there. No, like literally, I tried to follow them. I couldn't. To me, the most important thing, and I hope y'all get to do this at least once, but when you look an elephant in the eyes, that's just a feeling like you can see how intelligent they are. You can see how aware and like what they've been through and
Wisdom.
I don't know. There's just something about making eye contact with an animal that's suffered so much and finally knows it's safe. That's a core moment. And the thing is, I just know if more people knew, they'd take this over any other elephant flex you could buy. It's really the elephant nature park. And I'm gonna break your heart one last time, because now the real reason for this video. They actually flooded right after I left, and we're talking the worst one in the wild for a place that's pretty used to it. And while a little water's normally nothing to an elephant, a lot of the ones here are disabled from years of work. We're talking dislocated hips, injuries from stepping on landmines, and some of them are even blind. And unfortunately, 2 of the elephants I met, they're not here anymore. So there's an emergency flood relief fund to help them recover. And they could really use some help, so you already know where that link's going. It'll be in the description. Also, it's not just elephants. ENP has cows, pigs, monkeys, geese, and a very friendly population of dogs. They've done a lot of good in the world, and right now they really need that back. So if you can help, if you're able, that'd be great. But even in the worst possible time, elephants show me why they're my favorite. These 3 elephants are actually guiding a 4th blind one, walking just slow enough and making just enough noise for her to safely follow. And if that doesn't make you want to protect them at all costs, nothing will. Also interviewed one of the mahouts, and the full conversation will be posted on Patreon. Anyway, that's gonna do it for this video. Make sure you actually know there's one more thing. Thank you. Ooh, that was corny, but hear me out. And this year I went to the Turtle Center in the Cayman Islands, swam with sharks in Hawaii, and now I got to meet my favorite animal, and I do not do any of that without y'all. I don't think y'all understand. Like, y'all done changed the trajectory of my whole life. My job before this had nothing to do with animals. Now I basically LARP as Nigel Thornberry. Like you for real? I'll never not be grateful for y'all. Even if this is your first time watching, the fact that you watched this far. Alright, that's enough much. I'm gonna need y'all to drink water, hug your mother and your father. Shit, them babies June. By the way, she's okay. I don't think I said that. Thank you, Lek. Thank you all. And I'm gonna see y'all. Man, y'all already know. In the next one.
Hey.
Well, that's all I got. I'm sorry. It's like they put like these sunflower seeds in boxes, different amounts, and they closed them, and they were able to tell which one had more sunflower seeds just by smelling. It's insane. Like, that nose is incredible. That's all I got. I'm sorry.
Plus, he's got, that's
Nothing in here.
it's pretty awesome. This would be like a once in a lifetime type of thing. Depending on where you're coming from. Very expensive trip. Living his best life, man. We can live vicariously through him as well. Colorful commentary, great videos. Oh, yeah, that was absolutely amazing. Yeah, let me know if you guys been to where he's been, or actually maybe some of you guys watching might even be in the the care facilities for elephants, which can expand on some more information that he didn't give us here in the video. I'll be interested. I do read all my comments, but I will see you guys in the next one. Dave's out.